Guys, you will never guess who was on Dr. Phil recently. You will never in 100 years guess who was on and what he was talking about. You in the comment section, if you haven't already found out, go ahead and give me your guesses down there before we get into the actual video itself. But you're gonna have a blast with this. Trust me. But before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and get into the fan art section. This first one is from Raindog. Elon Musk saying Netcoin is almost as BS as fiat money. And then we have Satoki Nishikawa says, here's some Netcoins. Still work in progress, because I can't get away from these damn things. And then, finally, from Sir Pamas, and I had to download this separately because it's not uploaded into Discord correctly. The real identity of the Asian crypto lady from the crypto video. We have... It's Spy. There's so many layers to this. There's coins down here. There's a dryer here. There is the Spy from Team Fortress 2 wearing a stereotypical Asian person mask. You know, that is an image that I will have burned into my head forever. Anywho, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it in the fan art section of the Discord. With that all said, let's go ahead and get into things. Remember what your predictions for who was on Dr. Phil was, because I'm here to tell you, most of them would be wrong. All right. Let's go.
Elon Musk has been tweeting about the Earth's alleged underpopulation crisis. But should we be concerned? We've agreed that it's not birth rate that's causing any kind of...
All right, so before we continue, hold on. I need to increase his volume. He's not loud enough for me. I'm going to make sure that everybody can hear.
Climate change, it's not the driver, at least, that's for sure. You think it should be, people should qualify and be tested. You think people should be tested. You think we should just feed them and let them age out.
Voluntarily.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so as a society, I mean, we value freedom.
Singing Reaper, thank you very much for the follow.
And the, reproductive choice is one of those freedoms. And I think the better approach is to try to educate people so that they're responsible when they have children and they can care for them. But I mean, I think having the government getting involved in anything like this, I mean, China's done that. It's a disaster over there.
I completely agree with you about...
Do you see him? Do you see him? Please tell me you see him. Okay. If you can't see him yet, you'll know when you hear him.
Reproductive freedom. I think that's the most important thing we need today. Hundreds of millions of couples are denied their right to not procreate. But you were mentioning
how's that?
Oh, go ahead.
How are they denied that right?
How are people denied the right to not procreate? Very easily. The Supreme Court literally just tried to rule that we couldn't do the abortion thing. Like, that's... Reality is the reason, my guy.
They do not have the contraceptive services, reproductive health services that they need. Those are not provided. And maybe people should supply their own, but they can't afford it because they're having more offspring that they can't feed.
Where's that?
Just about everywhere.
Where are people having more offspring that they can't feed? I don't know. Have you ever heard of the Quiverful movement?
Get a sterilization here in America when you haven't had kids and you're only 22.
That's true.
we're not allowing people to not
We
breathe.
see people like that all the time, and you can put an IUD in. A copper IUD is effective for 10 years. It's inert.
Have you ever walked
Very
in a grocery
effective.
store and seen a lady with a bonnet on her head with 8 kids walking behind her? You think that she's being responsible? You think that she's really taking into consideration what she's supposed to do responsibly? You think that she's not on Section 8 housing? You don't think that we paying for her to house her kids, who's probably gonna grow up and steal my wheels off my car?
I disagree with.
That was those were certainly some words that were said. I'm not going to comment on them, but they certainly were interesting words. Now for the part.
All this crap that I hear. I grew up with 6 brothers and 7 sisters at a time when, I grew up on a plantation in Alabama, and we grew up in a little hut house, bathroom outside.
Token black person to spread racist memes. Yep. But, yeah. Jesse Lee Peterson, everybody. On Dr. Phil. To talk about population. I wonder what things he's going to say about human population and breeding.
My family raised an amazing family, children. But what the difference was then than it is now is that before you had babies, you got married. So you have the father and the mother in the home. And while the father was out earning a living, the mother was watching over his children. And so you were able to raise decent children. We didn't have government in our lives at the time. And so we were able to do that. And in America.
So he thinks that the government being in your life is the reason that you didn't have as much divorce? He thinks that you didn't have the government in your life and that's why it was easier to raise a giant family? What? He said, no, he beta. Don't worry, he has tons of experts. Seriously, if people really want for reasons to have such a big family, their choice. Yeah, if you want a big family, go have a big family. I'm not saying it's a smart decision, but, it is your decision. You can do it. I don't know what he's talking about here, though, specifically.
America, we were not allowed all these illegal aliens and refugees to come into our country. So our government were...
God, this guy right here just sitting here nodding along like, yup. They let in the illegals, they let in the refugees, and that fucked up America. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why is Jesse Lee Peterson here? What expertise does he give? He is a podcaster who is a pastor. He is the one who is supposed to grab an expert to pull onto his show. He is not the expert to be pulled on someone else's show.
We're not taking care of folks from other parts of the world and the families in America. We took care of ourselves.
I think you've pretty much pissed off everybody.
Yes, because he's... Okay, Doc, this is why you shouldn't have had him on in the first place. Jesse Lee Peterson is not an expert on anything. He is a provocateur. His goal is to get eyeballs on him. His goal is to get people to see him. His goal is not to bring insight to your panel. His goal is not to enrich the experience of the viewer on your show. His goal is to just get people angry because it gets people looking at him and watching his show.
But you said there's not anything you've heard that you don't think is crap. So what do you think? You said what you don't think. What do you think?
I know that we need to restore the family. We need a smaller government because government don't make anything work. They screw you up. We need.
I love this statement. Government doesn't make anything work, they screw you up. Can we talk about that one? So the government is only as dysfunctional as we make it. That's just a fact, right? The government as an entity is as broken as we allow it to be. It is as bloated as we elect it. It is as broken as we treat it. We as human beings are the ones who make our governments. We are the ones who get to decide that shit. We do so collectively, and we don't always agree on everything, and that is the reason why it is so hard to change things within government. But the fact of the matter is, government is not this, like, ethereal thing that exists separate from us. No, we are it. We have always been it. We built it. It's us. The only thing non-functional at that point is us. If you shrink the government down, you don't magically change a whole lot because all of the component parts are still there. People will still be fucking with your life. They will just be fucking with it in different ways. And when people are saying they want small government, they're usually not meaning they want less restrictive laws. I've noticed, awkwardly, that most people who are for small government are actually for really, really, really draconian, strict laws, especially when it comes to the family, marriage, LGBTQ things, education. They don't want small government. What they want is lower taxes. And I'm going to be honest, taxes don't really affect you all that much if you are making under $70,000. Even if you're making under $100,000, taxes aren't really affecting you as much as you think. They're not. There are countries with much higher taxes than us, and they manage just fine. These people want lower taxes for themselves. Usually it's people who are incredibly rich, like Jesse Lee Peterson, or people who are quoting people who are incredibly rich, like Jesse Lee Peterson. But when they say they want small government, they mean they want homeschooling. They mean they want a dissolution of a welfare state. What they mean when they say they want small government is they want benefits that help everyone stripped away. Very rarely, very, very rarely do they actually want what you and I would consider a reasonable small government. So, that just rant there. Food for thought. Okay, go on, Jesse. For what reason are you on Dr. Phil? Let's find out.
We need to stop taking care of women who are having these babies out of wedlock.
Correct.
We need to stop taking care of these women who are coming from other countries. We need to stop taking care of their babies.
Okay,
we need to take care of American families first by getting them away from the government and restoring order.
Okay, you're a pastor, right?
Yes.
And you're a radio host?
Yes.
Okay, and you said you believe white people should have more children?
We definitely need white babies. And
Yep. What are the 14 words, Ken? What are they? Let's make sure we got them right. Let's make sure we've got them, because I just heard that. Jesse Lee Peterson really did just pull a full-on, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. He straight up, instantly, he went for it. He went for the goddamn throat. He's just like, yep, look at me. I'm just gonna do the Nazi talking point. We need less minority children, and we need more white children. No minority, more white. Less black, more white. That's what he wants. And this man cannot be real. No, unfortunately, Jesse Lee Peterson is an SCP that we have had to deal with for so long. This man cannot be contained. The Foundation has tried. They have tried for years. He keeps escaping. Screw Dr. Sherman. I want Dr. Bright on this case. Maybe the Foundation should hand it off to the GOC. Yup, they could. Or the Serpent's Hand. Any of those organizations might be able to handle Jesse Lee Peterson better than the SCP Foundation at this point. You can handle a giant, immortal crocodile, but you can't handle Jesse Lee Peterson. Bunch of betas. Anyway. All right, Jesse. You gave us the Nazi talking point. You literally just gave us the 14 words in not so many words. Where does this go?
I tremble at the idea that white babies, that the white group is going down in numbers, because if you lose white folks, America, it's over for America.
This man sitting right here, he's just like, huh? What he's saying sounds vaguely racist, but in my favor. I think I love this man. Jesus Christ.
Because if you notice, white people tend to be more innovative. They're more creative. They have ideas about things. All these.
Everybody's just like, is this man for... How have none of these people, none of them, interacted with Jesse Lee Peterson on some level? How are all of these people virgins to the terror that is this man? And this is the christening. This is the moment. This is when their Jesse Lee Peterson cherries get popped. How is this the moment? They probably think he's a troll. I still have to convince myself he's not a troll.
These other races don't do nothing but destroy. They don't build,
But
they
he's
destroy.
wrong. He's wrong.
It went from white people are more creative and innovative to every race that isn't white only destroys. Every race that isn't white only destroys. They don't build. So there is no society in the world, apparently, that white people did not build. Apparently, according to Jesse Lee Peterson.
I said you'd piss off everybody. I was wrong. Now you've pissed off everybody. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link.
Oh, I wanted to see how that resolved. Wait, no. No. Oh my fucking God. And the comment section.
Jesse Lee Peterson was the most logical person on that stage, and Phil had the nerve to tell him he's pissed off everyone, meanwhile stays quiet while the others are advocating for their nonsense.
It's just a bunch of Jesse Lee Peterson fans. We live in the worst timeline. We live in the worst timeline. No, we live in the worst one. Everybody in here is just a Jesse Lee Peterson fan going off about how the man's amazing. And these people are unironically. They love everything that he does. I'm so tired. I am so tired. So the timeline known as fuck... Yeah, this is the fuck timeline. This is the timeline that begets the offspring of fuck. This is the timeline where Jesse Lee Peterson goes on Dr. Phil, does the 14 words thing, says a whole bunch of racist shit, says that every race that isn't white destroys everything, and then that's just it. That's just the end of the video. He doesn't even go any further in that. I feel blue-balled. I feel cucked, and I had to watch. Is this the timeline where the universe becomes a frog? Is this the frog timeline? Is this the gay frog timeline? Is that what Alex Jones was warning us about the entire time? I'm tired, and there's a lot more I have to do tonight. And Jesse Lee Peterson going off about white babies has probably made me hit my limit, and yet I've got to surpass it. I'm going to have to Goku this. Anyway. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm done. Incident video tagline here.